What's up, YouTube? It is Tuesday, February 16th, and what that means for DC fans everywhere, it's New Comic Book Day. So let's take a look at what all I picked up. All right, if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm right at around 470 subscribers, so there will be a giveaway at 500. I have no clue what I'm going to do. I feel like I just got done with the last giveaway, so I have to do a little thinking and preparation, but that giveaway is only going to go to subscribers. So if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell so you know when content drops, and you have the chance to enter those giveaways when they come up, or either hop in and talk comic books with me, man. But yeah, like I said, it's New Comic Book Day for me. I'm off every Tuesday. Love DC Comics, so this is my New Comic Book Day. Everything else that comes out tomorrow, I have to pick up on Wednesday. That comes out on Wednesday, I have to pick up on Friday. So I'm always waiting to get my hands on that stuff, and some of it I can't wait. So I just go ahead and read a digital copy, and then pick up the ones that I just put into my PC, which works great. And I see we have Remy Q in the chat already. What is going on, bud? We have awesome. Well, right now, the only thing that is rocking is a Future State, but that's not all I got. I did get a non-Future State title. There's only like 2 that I saw on the shelf that came out this week that were not Future State. But yeah, what is going on from New Mexico? Hello, Kenneth Bird. I'm glad that that package made it to you all right today. Kenneth won the first appearance of Apocalypse, that X Factor from my last giveaway. Austin, Remy said hello. It is a great way to get over the Mondays, and it's been a busy day. I normally like to do these little I don't know, 20-30 minute long hangouts on Tuesdays. I like doing a little bit earlier during lunchtime, but the kids just passed out, and I've been running around all day long trying to get the tag and title all switched over on a new vehicle, and ended up spending some quality time with the kids over at my grandma's house, which we had a blast. They love hanging out with their Nana. We have low budget comics and things. How are you doing today? But yeah, if any of you guys are not busy and you want to hop on here and just BS with me, feel free to. I'm going to post the link in the chat. I know it's the middle of a work day for most people, but yeah, so I'm just going to sit here and go through what I picked up, and I haven't had a chance to read anything yet, but there were a lot of good ones coming out, and we are on the back end of Future State now, so a lot of these are going to be wrapping up. And I was a little bit nervous how they were going to handle that. You know, a lot of times with limited series, they start out good, they get really gain some good momentum and get exciting, and then they kind of just flop out at the end. But so far, the ones that ended so far, they did pretty good, especially working in such a small time span. But we have Nightwing issue number 2 that came out today, which that first one was really cool. That was a kind of an addition to not just what was going on with Nightwing prior to the Teen Titans story arc, but it adds on to the Tim Fox Batman story arc. You kind of see where he was in the first issue of Nightwing, and he's going to be in this one. It's supposedly, it looks like it's going to be a huge fight between Nightwing and a faction of the police that have been after him specifically. But we know from the other titles that Dick Grayson kind of lost his mind, and it looks like it's from just working by himself in Gotham after everything else has gone down. So it's cool to see him interacting with the new Batman, and you kind of see where Bruce's traits have really were passed down to Dick Grayson, because he was like 3 steps ahead of the new Batman the whole time. What is going on, Tapia? How are you today? And then see if I can't do these in order. You know, it is the reading order of the Future State stuff definitely does matter, and I always have this right here that kind of a little preview book beforehand. That at the bottom of it, it has a timeline of what year all these titles take place, and it's 2 pages worth of it. So if you're not sure what reading order, you can always put them in timeline order, which I try to do because that gives you more context into the story and stuff. But looks like the next one after Nightwing would be Catwoman issue number 2. And that first one surprised me. This is one that I was kind of upset about picking up because I felt like it was just a filler book, but it turned out to be really important. And that artwork is beautiful. You have onomatopoeia down there. You can see the little swirly bullseye symbol on his head. That first one turned out to be awesome. And Future State was really my introduction to the writer Ram V, who was doing Catwoman before Future State. But he did the Catwoman in this. He did the Justice League Dark story. He did the Swamp Thing, and he's been a breakout writer for me. So I'm looking forward to seeing him jump on other titles. I know with the Infinite Frontier little initiative that they're doing, that they're going to roll into after Future State's over, he's going to be picking up Swamp Thing and with a brand new number 1. So that's going to be exciting. I definitely plan on picking that up. He handled it really well. Oh, New Comic Day was tomorrow. I did stop by my else yesterday. I was going to sneak out the door with the last round of 2. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting on that one too. That first issue has me really, really psyched up. And not just that, I have an awesome John Jang variant that I pre-ordered from Big Time Collectibles that I'll be looking forward to getting in. I try to collect all of his covers. I'm not going variant crazy with Last Ronin. I just try to keep up with his covers specifically. I don't know why his artwork really caught my attention when he did the Draken New Dawn variant. So yeah, I've had fun just kind of keeping up and collecting his stuff. Mike Knight seconds that. Catwoman is great. Yeah, that first one was fantastic. The pacing and the style of the book, the artwork was great, and it actually ended up being story relevant. Like, it wasn't a throwaway issue in the big grand scheme of things with Future State. It was really important because that was the first time that we were told that Bruce Wayne is not just alive, which was an obvious because of Dark Detective, but he's been alive and imprisoned, and this was a big escape mission to go break him out. But yeah, Catwoman went and got him out of this prison transport train and let loose some villains to help clear the way from all the guards and stuff. So that is the final one of Catwoman. And after that one, it'll be the next Batman. So this is the first one out of the titles that is not $3.99 so far. This is a $7.99 book, and it's 64 pages worth of goodies. And this is unfortunately has the backup stories Batgirls and Gotham City Sirens. Those were the only 2 that I have not enjoyed on some level so far. The Gotham City Sirens, the artwork was definitely not my style. It was real cartoony and goofy, and it seems like the character designs were out of context of all the other ones that they've done so far. And yeah, it just didn't feel relevant at all to anything that was going on with Future State. And the Batgirls ones didn't make much sense to me either. You just kind of started off in a prison with you have a Spoiler and Orphan kind of as being prison mates, kind of butting heads and realizing that Spoiler's kind of undercover, pretending like she's working for the magistrate while she's locked up. But they're really just trying to get Barbara Gordon out. So it seemed like just a lot of useless stories to me. But the next Batman's been pretty good. I think John really has done definitely done all right with it. I like the artwork style in it. It's very simplistic, but yeah, it's been good. I'm expecting not too much from this issue because the next Batman stuff takes place in 2025, and the Dark Detective book takes place in 2027. So we know there's going to be really no final grand finale or no big resolution or anything because Peacekeeper number 1 seems to be the big bad guy so far. I mean, we haven't even seen Mayor Nakano at all yet. So I'm expecting everything to go down in the Dark Detective title next week. But they kind of honed this into just a classic style street level Batman story with him just dealing with a specific case of missing persons that turned into the death of a little girl and the fallout with her parents from that. So we'll see how it goes. Don't have too high of expectations because it is just kind of seems to be a small contained story, but yeah. How is it going, Southern Comic Geek? Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by. Rock City Comics, how's it going? So next up on that would be Shazam. So this is Shazam number 2. That first one, dude, I really, really enjoyed that first one. So this is a title that's the fallout from the 2 issues of Flash and the 2 issues of Teen Titans. So the 2 issues of Flash turned out just to be kind of like the setup leading into the Teen Titans, kind of letting you know that the Riders of the Apocalypse are the big issue going on. And so this is going to, this I guess this would be like an epilogue. I think that's what it's called at the end of stories. But Teen Titans #2 walks you directly into issue 1 of this. But this is issue 2, and they kind of left it hanging or left a lot of questions so that it wouldn't spoil Teen Titans 2. But this has been my favorite story arc so far out of all of Future State. It has been really, really good. It has been packed with content. So many cool questions asked, some left unanswered intentionally, like who is Red X. They showed you his face, but intentionally left it ambiguous, which I appreciated. I thought that was a really cool way to do it. That way we can still talk about it, still speculate on it. Because like I've said before, some people love speculating on value of comics. I love speculating on the stories. It's just really fun to talk about and kind of throw our own ideas out there to see where it's going to go, see if we get it right. But we have Billy and Captain Marvel, Shazam, whatever you want to call them, have separated. Billy has stayed at the Rock of Eternity to guard the door that Raven has been imprisoned in. She took all the 4 Riders of the Apocalypse and put them inside of herself, basically trapping them. And they put her in the Rock of Eternity to keep them in there. So with them separated, Shazam has found that he has no moral compass, and he's back on Earth trying to keep doing what he does. But he is he's a one-man wrecking ball. He's just killing people, just not dealing with problems, just taking out the problem, being done with it. And we're going to see how it goes. The last issue was really cool. It was cool to see the Question was in there. Question's a really cool character. And he was kind of the one that was on to Billy or on to Captain Marvel, Shazam, whatever you want to call him, that something was wrong. So looking forward to seeing how they play that one out. That last one was really action-packed, and this one I'm sure is going to be just an all-out magic slaughter. Let's see. I'm boycotting those Future State 2 price books. It equates to 15 each down under. Yeah, if you're in, I've talked to Whack Comics about that, the price difference in Australia. And yeah, that's got to be rough. I don't have a issue with it just being on this temporary basis, since this whole Future State thing is such a small time frame of just 2 months. And they are giving us more book. It's a 64-page book. You know, they had like Generation Shattered come out at the beginning of January. That was a $9.99 book. It was an 80-page square bound book. So I understand that if you're giving me the content, I don't mind if I'm looking forward to reading the content. So it does kind of bug me that those backup stories were garbage, because even the ones that weren't just absolutely amazing, they added to the story. They kind of helped build the world. And again, with it being so short, it's really good to have like if you're looking at Superman, they only have so much to tell his story and build the world he's in. But if you give these backup stories, you can go to another, like another area inside of his story and kind of spotlight that to get a lot more context. And it's added a lot of depth to it. And I use that one specifically because here's #2. And that last one was a total setup book for an epic battle, I'm hoping. So we finally will get to see Clark in action. I'm assuming he's slightly depowered. The cover Bs of these have been the hardest ones not to pick up. They are absolutely gorgeous, but I'm trying to stick with just the cover As. I'm a little OCD about everything matching. And I do have a couple of the Daniel Warren Johnson, I think it was the Robin Eternals 1 and 2 sitting in my pool box that I've left there. Past 2 times I went trying to really see if I want to pick them up. But I love the Daniel Warren Johnson art style, and especially his writing. Like Murder Falcon was amazing. Wonder Woman Dead Earth blew me away. Wasn't expecting that. And I'm going to be picking up his Beta Ray Bill series. It'll be starting here soon over at Marvel. Let's see. You want to pick up Tynan's Joker series? I most definitely am. I do look forward to seeing where he goes from the Joker War stuff, because where he failed in the area of the Ghostmaker, he kind of made up for it with the Joker and Punchline story arc. Because with the Ghostmaker thing, he should have just ended that with a big question, a big to be continued, like when Harley was strapped to the table and Clown Hunter had the gun to her, or the knife, whatever it was, getting ready to kill her. He should have ended it there and picked up after Future State. But I feel like he rushed it just to finish a story arc. But he did not do that with the whole Joker story and the Punchline story that came out of the Joker War. So I'm excited to see where he takes it. I think it's cool that he's getting his own book so that we can tell the story in more depth. And there's also a John Jang variant for that. So I have that one on pre-order already as well. So it looks like I might have to go Silver Age for this one. The Superman book is not quite fitting into this one. So I keep modern silver and golden bags just handy all the time. I get all kinds of different books. Never know what I might find on sale somewhere and have to jump on it. So I don't want to be bagless. And then the last future state book that Ricardo Frederici, is that the dude who's doing the cover Bs for Worlds at War? Because dude, it reminds me of like the old Doc Savage art from back in the pulp era days on some of the covers that they did for that stuff. It was it's just gorgeous, and the way that he's drawing Superman, I didn't realize it till I saw his covers that Superman's not wearing his outfit. He has on his shorts and he has his shield on, but it's chained up over him. And I thought that like it was just the color scheme, but that's just hanging over his body, which I thought was cool because it just kind of makes him look more helpless and kind of more stuck in the situation he's in. You know, they didn't allow him to keep his iconic suit on. He's beat the hell up. But the final future state book that comes out today, also really excited about, Immortal Wonder Woman #2. Now that first one was really cool. This one takes place inside future state at the literal end of time, which I think was kind of cool to see. Wonder Woman knew that if you're following DC up until future state, you saw that she like hit like God status when she took out the Darkest Night and kind of met one of the hands of creation and kind of got tasked with almost being a steward of this new omniverse and its creation and stuff. So that was really cool. So I think it's pretty cool how they kind of continue that she is kind of someone who's there at the end. But there is something attacking planet Apocalypse at the beginning of the first one. And it's like the undoing was in the Generation Shatter. It's just something coming, just destroying everything. And you have like Orion and a couple of people come up the dark side saying, we have to do something, you have to help. And he doesn't even want to be bothered with it. He just leaves and lets his planet get destroyed. And he's heading straight to Earth. And he gets intercepted by old Superman. Now, next week, there's a brand new future state title called House of L coming out. And I'm not sure if it's just a one shot or not. It's got a $5.99 price tag and no backup story, so it's oversized. So they might just be pumping all of that out in one book. But it takes place in the distant future where you see that same Superman where he's old, surrounded by like, I guess, like his family in the future, like how they kind of branch off beyond his son Jonathan. But the art in this was fantastic. Darkseid did show up. The planet's dying. Wonder Woman's been trying to talk her sisters into leaving and going somewhere else. Swamp Thing has actually planted himself as a tree that's slowly dying in Themyscira, and Darkseid lands in a fiery ball like a meteor with Superman and in the middle of a fight. So I don't know if Darkseid's actually coming to try to fight him or if he's coming there to use their planet since his is gone or to tell them something's coming. I don't know. I think the fight might not be Darkseid's intention because when he stands up, the Amazons charge him, and he just stands up and kills them all except for Wonder Woman, just like that. So I think he's really not playing around. He doesn't have time to waste, and he immediately smacks Wonder Woman around, and Swamp Thing kind of puts his essence into her and just sacrifices himself to give her a final boost. So the artwork in this was amazing. Something Conrad. The art was absolutely beautiful. The colors that they use in this is just amazing. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is wicked. Oh, we get the Spectre in here. Ugh, spoilers. Gotta stop. Gotta stop. I don't want to, but this is also a $5.99 title. You get the backup stories of Diana Prince and Nubia. So Diana Prince is the main story. The backup story is going to be Nubia. So the last one was pretty cool. We had Grail coming, collecting artifacts from different museums to open a magical doorway to destroy the world. Who knows? Who cares? It's just a standard run-of-the-mill Wonder Woman style story, and it was really cool. Grail's a pretty cool character. I didn't mention it, but Superman Worlds at War is one of those $7.99 price tag, $8.99 if you get that cover V card stock. But you get Clark Kent, obviously. Then you get the Midnighter, Black Racer, and Mr. Miracle. You get 3 backup stories. Now, those backup stories in the first one were amazing. They were actually better than what they gave us for the Clark Kent aspect because they showed us a lot of the angle of how the world was dealing with the absence of Clark, and it kind of gets to Clark at the tail end. So all those backup stories took place at a different part of War World. So you saw the Black Racer showing up, who's a brand new Black Racer, trying to look at freeing some of the people on the outer rims of War World. You saw the Midnighters, which was insane. Like, I don't know how that didn't hit like a mature for that book, and because it was just violent all the way through. And then you see Mr. Miracle kind of just making his way there as well. And I think that we've seen his backup story already in the regular Superman of Metropolis stuff. So he's actually getting a lot of attention, and I know that he's going to be getting his own series coming up in Infinite Frontier as well. I'm not too excited about it. I'm more of a Scott Free kind of guy, but it was still cool to see the kind of expansion of what's going on with War World. But that Midnighter was cool because he kind of, during Mr. Miracle stories, he kind of just walks right by him and says, "Hey, what's up? Stay out of the way. I'm busy." And you kind of, the next story, you see what he was up to. And it was wild. It was really wild. Wonder, Immortal Wonder Woman was cool, except for the Amazons we didn't see before jolting. Philip Kenny John said it was supposed to continue after Future State ends. Yeah, if I've noticed from some of the 2-page spreads in a lot of the books, I doubt it'll be any in here, just the Black Label stuff. Yeah, we got some. Here we go. I've noticed with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Justice League, the cover Bs for all those titles coming up are going to be these awesome wraparound covers. And when you catch the ads for them, it's kind of just like a full roster of the characters from that. No, I just saw a Batman one here, then I lost it. But I've noticed on each character's little cover B, you do see characters from Future State. Like you see Red X in the Batman one. You see Yara Flor in the Wonder Woman one. Yeah, here we go. So you have Tim Fox in there. What other Future State characters did I see in there? You have one of the Peacekeepers up here. Not sure which one. He doesn't look like Peacekeeper 1. I mean, it is a different time era. You're not beholden to the same style. But I did see that Yara Flor's on the Wonder Woman stuff. I don't know if I heard they're under the Immortal Wonder Woman stuff. I know that there's a Sensational Wonder Woman is going to be the name of the title immediately following Future State. But yeah, see what I'm saying here. Very excited to see where he takes us. Let's see. Joe, I am too. I do not read The Last God. Fairy did amazing work on that if you like fantasy horror. I do like fantasy horror. My pool list is huge right now. I kind of beefed it up for Future State. I wasn't intending on reading all of it. I was just going to read the specific titles that I was kind of just looking forward to based on the characters. But after that first week, I think there was only like 2 that I left on the shelf. No, there was only going to be 2 I left on the shelf. And I ended up leaving the comic store with only the Harley Quinn book left on the shelf. So by the time I read through that first set of books, I'm like, wait a minute, man, this is all very, very, very not crappy. Like some of it was really, really good even. So I immediately went back the next week and got that Harley Quinn and just went ahead and committed to getting all of it so that I'd be able to talk about it. There's a lot of people on the fence about it still. There's a lot of people who just didn't have the funds to invest in it or didn't want to. So at least you can hear about it, you know. He said especially House of L he wants to expand on as well. Now the House of L thing looked really, really cool. Let me see if I can't even just pull it up here real quick because it looks like his family like really expanded on this. Like you see him sitting there, but you see I think the only other character that I recognized out of the House of L stuff was Jonathan himself. Let me see. I just want to try to share this screen real quick. Boop, boop, boop. So yeah, you have one of them that's even a Blue Lantern right here. So I think these 2 are supposed to be the twins. I think this is supposed to be John, but you have him right there. So it says centuries into the future, the bloodline of Kal-El, the hero we know as Clark Kent, continues. Meet a new generation of Kryptonian heroes as they stand against one of the greatest threats they've ever faced, a diabolical foe called the Red King. So we've seen stuff about the followers of the Red King already in the Green Lantern title. So we saw John Stewart going up against that whole horde of people that were pledging fealty to the Red King or the Red God or whatever. Maybe it's the same, supposed to be the same person because he kind of okey doked them and tricked them and kind of just opened a small boom tube and pulled Orion in and just tricked them into thinking that he was their deity, which was really cool. Orion was starting to show those features of Darkseid as he gets older. He kind of starts to look like his dad. But get ready for the unexpected debut of the twins known as Rowan and Ronan Kent, descendants of Jonathan Kent. Ronan is the new Superman of Earth, and maybe that's him there with the sword, while his sister is a Blue Lantern. So I'm assuming that's her. I mean, this chick over here on the left is wearing all armor and stuff, and she's kind of got the blue look to her. Also on board are Deandre Ban L, whose mother was Themarian, and other heroes. all led by the original Man of Steel himself. Plus, don't miss an appearance by the Black Racer. So it doesn't show that it has a backup story. It says an appearance by the Black Racer, but that doesn't. I don't think it necessarily be a backup story. But yeah, 48 pages, $5.99. So I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, all the Superman stuff I've really enjoyed. What is up, No Good Comics? How's it going? Happy Tuesday to you, which is New Comic Book Day for me because I'll be at work tomorrow. I'm definitely going to read The Last Ronin tomorrow. When I hit my lunch break, I'm just going to jump right on the phone and immediately read that. When that first issue came out, I was so ready to find out if it was going to be Michelangelo or not. I went on my lunch break and grabbed one of the ratio variants I ended up getting and sat there with the 1 in 10, just read it real quick on my lunch break and then read it again when I got home. Sensational Wonder Woman looks like it's a series of one shots. Each issue is different in creation. Oh, that's awesome. And I have heard about how DC's kind of there's all kinds of news that comes out about DC, but I know they do want to do more things that are more similar to the success of the Black Label stuff. And with this brand new omniverse where everything that has ever happened before is canon, it really opens the door for stuff like that, more one shots, more random creative teams on stuff, and a lot of really good stuff is the stuff that is not beholden to the hard continuity of what's going on. Yep. Lots more to look forward to than expect with the 5G stories. Yeah, and this is definitely what was left of 5G after all that time, effort, and energy and money that was spent on it. They had to do something, and this is definitely. I wonder how close this actually looks to what their original plan was, and I wonder how long they planned on rolling the 5G stuff out with to begin with. But this has been a very fun initiative that they did. I've really enjoyed it, especially after how heavy everything had gotten with death metal, which I enjoyed, but there was a lot to it, and it took a long time. That was like 7 months of tons and tons of books, and all those books counted in that story. All those one shots, all those tie-ins, you needed them to push the story forward. But this 2 month hiatus has actually been refreshing. It gives you time to clear your palate, get something completely different, and enjoy it, and to actually get a chance to check out all these new writers and artists over that they're kind of calling in. I know people were really hesitant about the whole concept of them getting, they're just trying to save money. They're getting these cheaper writers and artists in, but they've been good. This isn't their first book or first thought they ever had about writing a book, and they've actually done really well. That's a good point. It's Wednesday in Australia already, so I'm on time in Australian time. Seems like lantern rings are being handed out like hotcakes. They seem to go around pretty often, and during Future State, there's been zero. There are no Green Lanterns with active power rings. They're all gone. They were taken out, and so far, as they were falling, as they were dropping, the only Green Lantern that has power ring that works has been the Far Sector Green Lantern, and she actually showed up face to face with Hal Jordan at the end of that last Green Lantern issue. But you've seen John Stewart as well as a handful of other lanterns trying to peacekeep without being able to ring sling, and it didn't go very well for all of them. You saw Jessica Cruz holding it down against some Yellow Lanterns in a space station with no powers. It was like a total Home Alone thing. It was really cool. You saw Guy Gardner stuck on a planet, having to deal with being stranded on a planet for like a decade, and he finally gets everything nice and peaceful. And Lobo shows up, and that's how they cut it off. It was hilarious. What is going on, Dales of Suspense? If y'all haven't already, check out his channel. He just unboxed some gorgeous covers yesterday. We unboxed one, and the artist is just a fantastic artist. I don't think I own a single cover by that artist, but I definitely like those covers. They were amazing. I was one of those people very apprehensive, so I think that helped our opinions on the books. Like, oh, absolutely. Everyone was naysaying at the start of this, and rightfully so. There was no justified reason to be pumped about Future State at all until this came out. Then you started to get your first glimpse of reasons. When you kind of get a breakdown of the creative teams, you get to see some of the character designs. You realize that all those people that are saying, oh, they're just intentionally going woke and they're changing all of our characters and they're doing this and they're doing that. And you realize all your characters are still there and they're introducing new characters. That really helped a lot. And there was a lot of awesome concepts that they were working with. So that got me excited. That got me where I was like, all right, I'm going to pick up a couple more than I thought because a few more of them sound really good. And yeah, then they just completely prove themselves. Having those low expectations really helps. Like with Three Jokers, my expectations were up here. I was years in the wait for that, and it, after delays, after COVID, after shakeups, after restructuring of the actual continuity of DC, whatever Three Jokers was originally intended to be, didn't get near what they delivered. So I was not ready for just a Killing Joke sequel, but for a Killing Joke sequel, they did really well. The art was amazing. Johns did great with the writing. It was a gorgeous book to look at. Told a complete story, but I was looking in the wrong direction when I was reading that book, and I initially came away very very upset. But after going back and looking on it, I've been able to enjoy it. Thanks for well, you're welcome, man. Shameless plugs for days. I can't wait for the new icon and static shot. Yeah, I've been looking forward to those since Fandom. They announced those at Fandom, and those are going to be digital first, from what I understand, which is fine with me because I have the DC Universe Infinite app, which I've had since beta when it was just the DC Universe streaming app. It was released on the September, like this coming September will be 3 years now, I believe, but it was released on the September. But I had it prepaid and was just waiting on that release. And then one random day, because I would look at it regularly, one random day it was just available to me. Everything wasn't 100% ready, but yeah, I think those are going to be awesome. I hope that they do well enough. If they are still just planning on doing digital first, I hope they do well enough that they put them out in print, because I still like to buy floppy copies. Mainly with the digital stuff, I just kind of read back issues, or like I just got the Omega Men 1 through 10, so I didn't want to bust open a crispy, clean copy of the first appearance of Lobo to read, because I got it for such a good price. I paid $20 for all 10 first issues. So that issue 3 is a Lobo first appearance. So that was a total steal. And so I just busted out the tablet and read it on there, because with the tablet, it's like the perfect size of the comics. But anyways, I digress. The last book that's not Future State, which I'm really excited about. I know a lot of people aren't. They have their own thoughts and opinions on the guy, but Tom King's Batman Catwoman issue number 3. Very pumped for this. That last issue I think was awesome. Uh, I like his writing style. I don't necessarily think he's great on a continued series like a monthly title. When he can work inside of a time frame, I think he does really well. His Mr. Miracle run was fantastic. His Strange Adventures has been fantastic. He did that WandaVision book, or that Vision story that everyone says is fantastic. So, yeah, I'm enjoying this. It's completely outside of continuity. He's not restrained. I like the fact that Clay Mann's on the arts. That dude is a beast, and that cover is just wicked. Look at that, wicked, wicked. Let's see. Don says April 15th for print. That's not far away at all. That's awesome. That's really cool. I hadn't heard any news yet on the print, so that's really cool. I watched all of Fandom when DC did the at-home convention, and that's when they first announced it, to my knowledge. And during that announcement, they said that they were going to be pushing it digital first. So I don't know if it'll still come out before then on digital, but yeah. So that's all the stuff I picked up from today. I had to grab some more bags. I don't know how, but I always end up having more boards than bags. I know that there's the same count in there, but I don't know. A lot of times when I buy books, if people send me a book in a bag and board, and it's got a perfectly good, perfectly new board, but it's one of those bags that is the reseal ones. I hate those things, man. Not necessarily the reseal aspect, but I get those I get those thick bags. These are like 3 mils, and I think those are 2. I can feel the difference. They don't feel the same. But so I always rebag them into my bags. I'm a fan of tape. I grew up watching my dad bag and board books with tape, and that's how I've always done it. But yeah, I've said it before. A lot of the way that I collect comes from my dad. It's all handed down. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Just wanted to hang out on here. We just hit 34 minutes. I'm surprised the kids are still sleeping, so that's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and maybe read a book or two. I hope you all have a great day. I'm going to attempt to record a video tonight to put up tomorrow. We got some cool stuff that I would like to show off. But until then, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate everybody who already has. And I look forward to hitting that 500 subscribers right around the corner. So share this channel. Tell your friends we're not far away from the next giveaway. So, yeah, everybody, y'all have a great day. And as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.